What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Milan. We're back with another live. Today is Tuesday, and it is cold down here in Texas. I'm sure colder in the northern regions, even worse. But these Texans down here aren't used to it. So, and coming from Chicago, it's not too bad for me, but I chose to throw on a hoodie today. So if you guys are new to the content, please go and check out my YouTube channel. I have over 950 videos on there. All we do is talk about industrial sales, industrial marketing. I'm here to provide as much value as possible, teach you guys some things, hopefully make some friends along the way, network with each other, and the end goal is boost your revenue. That's all it's about. So whether you have a team, you're doing it yourself, you're the owner of a business, you're in sales, it's all about industrial sales and marketing at this channel where we bring you exactly what's working today. These are not theories. This is not stuff that worked 5 years ago. At Manufacturing Tribe, the industrial marketing agency that I own, we are doing this every day for clients. So we have firsthand knowledge of what's working, what isn't, as things shift, which they always do, especially in today's topic. We want to be on the forefront of it, making adjustments and testing to see if it improves what we're hoping that it's going to improve. So if you guys are joining from LinkedIn, give me some blue thumbs, put something in the comment section saying I'm here so we know that the stream is working. If you guys are on YouTube, if you guys are on LinkedIn, you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, go and check it out. Type in my name. You got access to all of the videos. We go live every single week on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then every other week, so the second and the fourth week of the month, we go live twice a week. Thursdays, we go live on sales. So for those that missed it, last week on Thursday, we talked about industrial sales secrets for about an hour. So go check out that video. The full replay is on the YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube channel, go under videos, go under live, and you'll be able to see it. But be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. So we're going to jump into the topic for today. Those of you that know me, this is all unscripted. I've got 5 topics, 5 bullet points to talk about. We'll see how long we go. If you guys have questions, put them in the comments section below. If you're jumping into this and you already missed my spiel in the beginning, go to YouTube and subscribe, please. So the first step of the power of SEO in industrial markets. The first step is going to be understand SEO. So class is in session. What is SEO? And there's tons of articles out there you can read. We're going to speak specifically to what's working for industrial companies, but what is SEO? SEO stands for search engine optimization. Basically, when people search for you on Bing, Yahoo, Google, DuckDuckGo, whatever the platform is, it controls how high you rank with those search phrases. So it's very important. Everybody in industrial is searching for your services every single month. However, it all depends on the volume. Most agencies, most people that are SEO experts come from volumes that are massive. You're talking about consumer goods, consumer electronics, consumer services, all that stuff where the search volume for a phrase that they're working on is 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 per month. But you guys in industrial, and this is all that I know for the last 20 plus years, you guys in industrial are dealing with lower level search volumes. Search volumes as low as 40 people a month, couple hundred, 500, 1,000, sometimes 15,000 if you get into some general terms. But you've got a lot of industrial companies fighting after a small group of search phrases, trying to grab that attention. And so this is where it becomes extremely important to show up on search. You want to show up when somebody's typing either your company name or a service or a product that you have, you want to show up to the top. Now let's break down what those results mean. When you search for anything, you're going to see all of the ad content first, all the promoted sponsored content, all the Google ads, Google shopping ads, etc. The first organic page is going to get about 25 to maybe 29% of all search volume. So let's just say it's 100 people searching a month. 29 of those people are going to click the first link. The second link is going to drop to around 20-ish. You guys can Google search this. The numbers don't change much over the last few years because people are smart to ads. Ads only represent a small portion of things that people actually click. So 27-ish, 29% at the first result. Organic second result, you're probably looking around 20. The third result drops even lower to the tens. And then from there, like by the time you get to result 5 to result 6, you are in the lower single digit of clicks from that search phrase. Maybe some of you have noticed that Google made an adjustment about, 3-4 months ago to where there no longer is any pages for you to click through. So when you get results, you just get results. It's a continuous scroll. As you scroll, there is no end. So there's no longer page 1, page 2, page 3. But for argument's sake, we still refer to it as that. Anything in the first position to the 10th position is quote unquote page one. But on the continuous scroll, it's 15% of the way down in the initial page results. So the important thing is showing up for there. And we're going to go through exactly how to do that and some key little tips and tricks on how to hijack phrases from other people. But first, you have to wrap your head around it that it is important. SEO is a long-term play. This is not something that you just say, I want to rank number one for this type of machine. I want to rank number one for this type of service, industrial automation companies, integrator, plastics, CNC machine shop, stamping house, whatever it is, metal forming, fabrication company. For you to show up number one is not something you can just strictly do overnight where you just say, let me fix my website, do some things, and all of a sudden I'm number one. This stuff takes time. It's a long-term play. It doesn't necessarily take 6 months to 12 months. It depends on how many people are actively going after that. Fortunately, in industrial, people usually don't pay attention to SEO. So there's a lot of people that are in position one that aren't protecting it. They get to position one with a new website. They aren't protecting those results. So we're going to go through some things today to pull back the layers of that onion and see how can we take advantage of those people. Again, this is coming from the last 8 years doing this for companies as a service at scale, dozens upon dozens of industrial companies we've helped with. Some of our specific verticals we've owned with our clients, key search phrases on the service side to where we had number 1, 2, and 3 ranked positions for numerous clients in some pretty big phrases that everybody's searching for multiple years. And it's because once we got there, we were able to defend it because we knew the play and how to work the system against it. So number 2 is going to be picking the right keywords. This is something to argue because everybody's got different viewpoints on it, but the keyword is the most important of what you're going after. So picking the right keywords, the right phrases, the way that the SEO works, and I'll draw a quick pyramid here for it. So this is still the same as it's been a couple of years. You've got, for the last couple of years, you've got keywords, right? You've got keywords here. These are long tail, which means like 5 words. Less competition on long tail keywords. And this is your main keyword. So if up here you want to go after CNC machine shop, that's going to be your main keyword phrase that you're going after. What happens is as you are ranking quickly on position 1, it's sending juice or SEO energy to the main keyword. The more things you're ranking for in long tail format, the higher likelihood it is that you're going to rank faster for the more competitive and search phrases that are more difficult for you to rank for. That's the key here. You can't just say, I want to go after CNC machine shop and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to do it, and that's going to get me there. It has to be a theme. Google made the change to their algorithm a couple of years ago. It says they're not just going after a specific keyword, they look at the theme. So it all has to be relevant. They're all about relevancy these days. So with that being said, you have to think, what are other keyword phrases that are relevant to the main keyword phrases that we're going after? And too many times industrial people say, I want to rank for this keyword phrase. And it's like, cool, that's a good keyword phrase to rank for. However, based on the research using tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, things like that, Moz, things like that will tell you, oh, there's only 20 people in the United States searching for that. So that you showing up number 1 for that is great and cool, but it's not really going to drive a lot of traffic to your site that's going to take some intention and actually purchase from you. So you have to look at all of your keywords with the mindset that these are the ones I want to rank for the most. They're going to be a higher search volume. They're going to be more competitive, but that's the main one. That's what you want your main page to be focused on and a couple of your key internal pages. But from the CNC machine shop, from industrial automation company, from metal forming company, from the main one that you're going after, you have to fill out that pyramid with other things that are relevant, and you have to aggressively go after all those keywords as well. The cool thing about the long tail keyword is that if that's 5 words, 7 words, 9 words, you write an article to it, you can rank for that quickly. The more that you're ranking number 1, the more people that go to your site and go deeper in your site. So they see your search results, they click it, they go to your website, they click another page, they don't just hit the back button. The more times that you can get people, your information to show up, people to click and stick on the page and go deeper, that's telling Google that you've got some good content. That's all that Google cares about these days is content. How good is the content? Which makes sense, right? Because they're a search engine. So if somebody types in a search phrase, they want the results to be exactly what that person's looking for. So if they click and then hit the back button, Google's like, whoa, wait a minute here. I thought this was good. The more times that happens, that person's position starts dropping down and down and down the page. So you can get there for a moment if you're using some black hat techniques and doing some keyword stuffing and stuff like that. You can get to position 1 for a moment, but staying there consistently, fighting off your competitors, no matter what happens with Google algorithm changes, all of that aside, if you can stay at position 1 or position 2, or maybe you're playing hopscotch back and forth between the two with your competitors, it's extremely important that you understand that what got you there and what's going to keep you there is ranking for all of the other keywords. A great tool for you guys to look into is SEMrush. We use it every single month, every single day. It does a lot of the guesswork out of it and does it for you. So it's tracking the Google algorithm updates for you. It's telling you what was affected. You can look up competitors' information. You can do it for cheap and just be able to do a couple searches a day. I know that they have a free license, or you can go and spend a few $100 and be able to do full-blown reports and track lots of keywords and do audits all the time and even do a lot of keyword research. SEMrush, in my opinion, is the best. Now, there are other one, Ahrefs and Moz. Those are good as well, but I think that SEMrush is the best when it comes to a total platform, a total system that you get access to be able to do that keyword research. So you have to say, these are the 50, these are the 70, these are the 100 keywords that I want to rank for. Maybe it's only 15. And you say, from an order of prioritization, you can type in the keyword into SEMrush, and you can look at what is the search volume monthly in the United States or in Canada or in Europe. You can see all of that information and you put it into a spreadsheet, you start to develop your game plan. Now, hopefully an agency is doing this for you. So if you're working with an agency and they're not doing it for you, hit us up at Manufacturing Tribe, mfgtribe.com. Book time with us to talk about how we can help you, because this is extremely important for you to show up when people search for you. You don't want it to just be your company name. You also want to show up from a relevancy standpoint. So that's where picking the right keywords matter. So many clients that have talked to us, or potential clients have talked to us, and people that came in initially and weren't clients and then signed with us, when we do the initial organic audit, we're like looking and it ends up being like 70, 80, 90% of their organic traffic to their website comes from their branded search phrase. So that's the company name, or the company name and a city and state. That's fine to show up, but you really want that to be no more than 50% of your total organic traffic, because what that means is that your other phrases, things when people don't know who your name is, they're just searching a phrase, you're not showing up high enough. So your branded search phrases, your name, city, state, etc., less than 50% of your total organic traffic should come from that. And you're like, Kyle, how do you know what other companies' organic traffic is? That's the power of SEMrush. I could type in any company at any point in time and tell you what their organic traffic is, keywords, position, keyword density, keyword difficultiness, all of that stuff in a single tool. So understanding the right keyword is number 2. Let's look at number 3 with the competitive research. So number 3, you have to do this research and build it out. You have to do this research, and it's going to change based on what Google does. Google can say, hey, this is what we care about now, and then all of a sudden they make some adjustments. They make dozens of micro adjustments every single year. They typically roll out a handful of bigger adjustments, and then core major adjustments is maybe once or twice a year. Now, with the power of AI and the trends that has happening with that, I feel like they're going to be releasing more integrations, more updates to be able to fight against it, fight with it, use it, etc. They're going to be doing more updates to their algorithm and even the search experience. They want to bring in their system into a Bard and be able to use AI to generate a different search experience. But doing the competitive research and doing the keyword research to figure out exactly what you should be ranking for and what are your competitors ranking for is pivotal to get a good SEO strategy together. With our new clients, when they come in, we first look at what is their page, what are their pages currently ranking for, because that's information that is easily available. What are their competitors ranking for? We put all these spreadsheets next to each other. We look at what are the competitors ranking for that the customer isn't ranking for, that we want to focus on, pull those into the spreadsheet, then we look and audit the relevancy of these. A lot of websites are ranking for stuff that they're not intentionally trying to rank for. It's just the content that they have on their site is telling Google that this is what I think that I want you to rank for with these results. And a lot of times there's garbage there. So we have to remove all of the garbage, prioritize and say, these are the top 25, these are top 50, top 100 keywords we're going after. The competitors are over here. We track it on a monthly basis. We do reporting. We can see what position are they at, what position are you at, and then figure out the strategy of how we can boost certain aspects of the site, whether it's on-page SEO, articles, etc. Boost certain things on the site to be able to take over the positions and leapfrog ahead of the customers. Here's something from a standpoint of hijacking keywords. And this is something that's newer, but still pretty cool. So we're going to say hijacking. How do you hijack? What do I mean by hijacking keywords from competitors? So check this out. It's a simple process. It involves AI slightly. And I'm sure this will be way easier in the next 6 months. But go and do some research on SEMrush of one of your competitors, or look at what are they ranking for. It'll tell you which page of their site is ranking position 1 for that while you're sitting at position 4. You go to that company's page, you could either do one of two things. You can copy all of their text on that page, just highlight it all, go into ChatGPT, punch the information in there, paste it into there, and just ask it to give you back information. So it's going to read the text. The things that you care about are, what are the most relevant keywords and keywords that are used the most? What's the density of those keywords? So if you know CNC machine shop is what it's ranking for, you want to just punch that information in ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, for the phrase CNC machine shop, tell me what the keyword density is, total word count, how many times is it there, spits you back that number. Maybe it's 3%, maybe it's 5%, maybe it's 1%. You should really be in the 3 to 5% range to really significantly rank for things. So if you see that your competitor's page is only at 1%, it's like, cool. My page, if I make some adjustments, I can improve on that and maybe quickly gain resources and quickly gain positions over it. Number 2 that you want to look at is, what is the total length of that page? How many words are there? If they've got 1,250 words and your page that you're trying to rank for that same phrase only has 300, you've got some work to do. Again, Google cares about content, the quality of the content, the depth of the content, internal links to other content that's relevant. It's all about that pyramid. And so if you want to try and outrank them, you have to step up your word count. It can't be a bunch of fluff, but it needs to be relevant to the search phrase. The next thing you could do is right-click in Chrome on their web page, and you want to say View Page Source. Once you view the page source, you're going to bring up a Finder window. So on Mac, it's Command F. I don't know what it is on Windows. Maybe it's Windows symbol F. What do you think it is, Jordan? Control F on Windows. Thank you, Jordan. He loves Windows. But he builds like ridiculous computers, so it makes sense. So you want to do Command F, Control F, and you want to type in H1, and that's it. And then click through the results and find what is their H1 tag. The heading 1 tag is what you're telling Google, what that page is telling Google is the most important thing to rank for. So you want to look at the H1 tag of your competitor's page. You also want to look at the H2 tags of your competitor's page. And typically, if it's a lengthy enough page, H2 tags, there's going to be multiple of them, but they all have to be relevant. And so what you're doing is you're kind of dissecting a page that's already ranking number 1 on Google, maybe has for a while, and figuring out how did they get there. One aspect of how they got there. There's lots of other factors, so don't beat me up in the comment section. Be like, dude, you didn't talk about this and that. I will get to some of those. But this is a major factor, is the page that's actually ranking is set up like this. So they already invented the wheel. They already made the mousetrap. Why are you going to try and start from scratch? Take something that somebody already built and make it better. That's most inventions in the world are not super outside the box, but they just take something that's been done and make it better. So keyword jacking, keyword hijacking, that is a tactic that is used all the time by numerous agencies, numerous companies, paying attention to competitors, figuring out what page is ranking and trying to look at the skeletons in the closet, see what did they do to get there, and you do yours better. The next thing is going to be on-page SEO. What does that mean? On-page page. It is SEO that is on your website. So that has to do with keyword density, H1 tags, H2 tags, meta title, meta description, alt tags on the images. If you put an image on your website and it just says person sitting at machine and it doesn't say CNC machine shop, Austin, Texas, or whatever the relevant keyword phrase is related to the main one, then you're missing out on opportunities. So you've got all of your H tags, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really, 1 and 2 are the most important. Then you've got your on-page, you've got your keyword density of the search phrase. You need to make sure that the search phrase is in the H1 tag. Then you've got alt tags that are relevant on all of your image. You've got internal links on one page that are saying, from here in the body of it, here's a link to another page, another resource, whether it's a page on your site or an article that you wrote. You're trying to link to other things that are related. Google loves that stuff. And you want to look at the overall performance of the page load speed, all that stuff. All of that takes into consideration on-page SEO. Whether it is your page is loading solely because of JavaScript, CSS, or plugins, or whatever, if you're on a WordPress site, or you've got bad code that's not rendering properly, lazy loading, etc. All of it has to do with your on-page SEO. Google search on-page SEO, and you'll be able to see all of the different things about it. From an industrial marketer standpoint, most of the time, the number one issue we run into is we talk to somebody like, hey, when was the last time your website was done? They're like, oh, my website was done, 6 months ago, 12 months ago, maybe it was 3 years ago, 5 years ago. And you go into it, and even the ones that were recently done, and you start to look at the main pages, not necessarily every page, just the main pages of their service or the main categories of their products or their main biggest product, and you look at the meta title description, H tags, all that stuff, and there just is no on-page SEO that was done properly. Because companies do that, a lot of web agencies don't understand SEO, especially for industrial companies. So they build a new website, they push it out there like, this website's dope, it's awesome, it's got good UI, good UX, it's got good images, it looks modern, but the on-page SEO sucks. So their rankings are going to start to drop significantly. Unless they see it and fix it quickly, then they're not going to be able to get those positions back for a decent amount of time. Whereas the competition is noticing that. If they have an agency like ours, we're tracking competitors, seeing somebody dipping, figuring out, okay, there's blood in the water, what's going on there? Let's take advantage while we can, because certain other keyword phrases are starting to reduce. So let's try and take over the ones that we've been fighting for. But the on-page SEO is so important. On the flip side of that, you have off-page SEO. So off-page SEO has to do with things that are not on your website. So on-page SEO is going to look at articles, even articles, right? So we wrote 600, 700 articles last year for our clients. And they're all technical, all industrial, some white papers. All of those things help with on-page SEO. All those things help with your domain authority and rankings and all that stuff. But off-page SEO is things that are outside of your site that are coming back to your site. And what a lot of people are focusing on still are backlinks. Backlinks, what are they? Backlinks are basically another site linking back to your site. So from a domain authority standpoint, if you take somebody like NBC or CNN or a big news media outlet, they have a domain authority of, let's say, like 60, 70, 80-ish range. Whereas your website, my website, has a domain authority of 10. It just means that not that many people think that what you're producing is that great. It takes years and years and years and lots of information on your site to get up to those higher domain authorities. Typically, news publications, places like that, have the highest domain authorities. And so what backlinks do is you say, I want something on that high domain authority site, and I want it to link back to my site. So Google looks at it and says, ooh, these people are linking to your site. Your site must be good. I'm going to give you a few more points in your domain authority. Here's the problem, is that while that tactic has been around, it's really the core foundation of how Google started building the algorithm originally, was using backlinks and domain authority. That is somewhat of an outdated core focus. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm saying if you have to focus on an area, it is content, it is not backlinks. There are still tons of companies that will say, dude, I'll get you 300 backlinks a month. I'll get you 1,000 backlinks a month. They're going to be from garbage places. They're creating profiles on forums, etc., trying to post some stuff so you get the backlinks. Google is smarter these days, especially going into 2024. They have said they will look at backlinks a little bit differently with the higher focus on content. and they will look at it a little bit differently, and they will continue to punish people that are using backlinks that are basically fake. And so while is it good to say, I'm in metal forming and I want to have a backlink from Metal Forming Magazine, which is a PMA magazine. I want a backlink from their site to come back to my site. 100%, that's good. But here's the key. How much money did you have to pay to get your article on that site? Maybe they say, hey, Kyle, if you guys write an article for me, 1,500 words, 2,000 words, we'll put it on your site. We'll get links back to you, but you have to pay us $1,800. Or maybe we'll do $5,000 for 5 articles over the year. We'll give you a discount. And I'm not just saying Metal Forming Magazine, any news publication, any place wants money if you want to use their domain authority. So while can it work? Yes. Are there free places that you can go after? Yes. Their domain authority is going to be lower. So there is a play of how much money do I want to spend to get that backlink versus if I got $3,000, I'm not going to pay somebody to send a backlink. I don't care if it's Bloomberg. I'm not going to pay somebody to send backlink back to my traffic. I'll take that $3,000, focus on content, articles and videos, put it out to places like YouTube, put articles out there on social, send them out through emails. Maybe somebody says, hey, dude, I love your article. Can we throw it on our news site that is an industry news? Or maybe they do it for free from a publication. That is a smarter play than saying, I want to build out backlinks. That is an old tactic that's outdated. It does not work. It's not the best investment of your time. So if we're strictly looking at time in versus output, there you're getting back, I would say focus more on content of your web page, number of words, keyword density, how everything ties together, and exterior content on your articles that you're pushing out there that is relevant for long tail searches, plus videos. Those are way more important, in my opinion, than backlinks. And I have a little bit of information, actually a lot, to back it up. The last thing is going to be looking at tracking. So number 5, tracking. This has to be tracked every single day. If you guys are getting value out of this so far, this nerd talk, then put a comment in the comment section and give me some blue thumbs or some hearts. I'll take anything at this point. Just looking for attention. And so number 5 is going to be tracking. What does that mean? I mean, you guys know what tracking means. You have to be looking at this consistently. If you are a marketing person of one and you work for an industrial company, ask them for a SEMrush license so you can set up everything and you have alerts and things like that. They're going to tell you when things are happening so you don't have to go in there and look at it all the time. Or just partner with an agency like ours because we'll just do it all for you because we understand what it is that you guys do. You say hydraulic this, welding, robotics, automation, plastics. It does not matter. Aerospace, med device, fluid control. No matter what you guys are doing, our team understands it very quickly so we can look at search phrases a little bit different because we want to make sure that you're ranking for those things, but we want to make sure that you're tracking for them and then throwing out the stuff that is not important. But you have to be tracking it on a consistent basis every single month. When I first started doing this 8 years ago, I was obsessive over it. SEMrush updates every 12 hours. And for my key core keyword phrases, I was going after those aggressively. And when I would go up from position 46 to 32 overnight, I would be freaking out. And so if you're doing it on your own, use SEMrush or use an agency like ours. It is so important. Look at the search phrases that your company is currently ranking for. If you have an agency, ask them for a report, ask them for positions, or just get a SEMrush license, punch in your domain. You can look at, grab all of the keywords that are relevant to you, throw them into the keyword planner and the overview and the tracking, grab in a couple competitors, and just look at what you got. For a couple $100 a month, if your agency isn't doing that, if you don't have those tools at your disposal, ask your boss to get them. Maybe you cancel after 6 months once you know the lay of the land. But it's so important to look at what are you going after? Are these improvements working? And what is your competition doing? Have to look at it on a weekly or monthly basis. We'll be right back. We're going to take a short break. We'll jump into any comments to see if there's any comments in there, and I will answer those questions live. We'll be right back.
Switch up the flow, show you the way that it go. God is good, but his life is hard. But it gets better when you grind it small. I'm just really trying to leave a mark. We tired of being who they say we are. That's the time we gon' take it far. Always be real, we don't fake it all. Tired of 9 to 5, just making nothing survive. Only living on the weekends. You really thinking that's why I'm alive?
All right, guys, we're back. We're going to jump into these comments. Hopefully there's some good stuff in here, some questions so we can provide some more relevant context. Let's hit it, Jordan.
All right. First comment is going to be, hi everyone, thanks for joining, by Caitlin.
Let's go, Caitlin.
Michael, isn't it a lot about HTML tags getting results from creating tags?
So that's a portion of it, right? Your H tags, your H1, 2, and 3 tags is a portion of it, as is your meta title and description. If you're like, what is my meta title on a page? In any browser tab, at the top of the tab, just hover when you're on a page on anybody's site, and you can look at what the meta title is. Maybe it's like CNC Machine Shop, vertical bar, ABC Company, vertical bar, we're the best. Look at that, and that'll tell you if it just says ABC Company products, ABC Company about us page, that is not the best tactic. You need to update that. So HTML tags play a portion of it, but it's all about content and the H tags and the meta title description, alt tags, etc. But content and structure is the most important out there.
Michael, again, with most relevant to what you're trying to promote.
Yeah, Michael, you want it to be relevant. So if you're trying to go after, let's use a different phrase, like custom injection molding. That's what I know best because I did it for a while. Custom injection molding is a main keyword phrase. So let's just say you have a page, your homepage is trying to go after custom injection molding. And that is the highest one on that pyramid, right? So that's number one. Your page H1 tag should be custom injection molding, and there should be text below it, etc., talking about custom injection molding. But then think about other things that are relevant to that phrase. Using SEMrush is a great tool, but just think about it if that's your space. What are other things that are relevant? Custom injection molding tooling, secondary processes for injection molding equipment lists, injection molding machines. Those are all H2, H3 tags that you can put as subheadings within the copy of your page. So you want to look at your page and structure it, say, what's my H1 tag? Beef of text below it that has a relevant keyword. Then your H2 tags are, again, sections. Maybe you have 3 H2 tags because it's like secondary processes, et cetera, but you want to make sure the keyword density of the one that you're trying to go after is about 3% total across the page.
All right, from Lisa. How much time would you give a keyword to work? 3 months?
So Lisa, it depends on the difficultiness of that keyword. It could be 6 to 9 months. What you're really looking for is improvements. I would say if you're not ranking for something and now you're trying to go after it, if you have a specific page that is like, let's look at perfect situation. So in a perfect situation, when you're building out a new, like aggressively going after it, your page URL should be like whatever your company is, right? ABC / let's just stick with CNC Machine Shop / CNC machine shop. Or something that we're doing right now, we've got industrial marketing for, I'm not going to write this out. Once we get our smart board in here, eventually we'll just type it out. But industrial marketing for machinery companies, right? We have a page that's specific to that. The slug or the URL of that page is focused on the keyword. So if we're trying to go after CNC Machine Shop, if we're trying to go after metal forming for aerospace or aerospace metal forming companies, you want a page where the URL is aerospace-metal forming companies. That's the phrase you're going after. Your H1 tag is set to that. You have relevant H2 tags. You've got good keyword density throughout the page. You've got internal links going to other things that are relevant. All of that is good. You have a higher likelihood to maybe get there in 3 months, regardless of the difficultiness of it. But for most industrial companies, like I've never seen anything besides 3D printing. I've never seen anything that has a keyword difficultiness, the KD score by SEMrush, of like higher than 50 out of a scale of 1 to 100. So most of them are in the 15 to 40 range. So it means that it's not super difficult to rank for that, but you could get there in 90 days if your page is set up properly. Even if it's not set up perfectly, as long as you put some attention to it, you should be able to see some improvements after 90 days. Maybe you go from not being there until now you're at position 60, and then a month later you're at position 32, and you start to see those things increasing. That's really what you're looking for. But the key is that you have other relevant content that's going after the same relevant type keywords that is being pushed out there every single month. This is why, if anybody looks at our services and what we offer, there's a reason why we offer what we offer. We're not just a marketing agent that says we'll do everything. You have to, everything goes together in a master plan in a circle. So you've got the CRM and the services and driving traffic to the site with paid. And then we need web development and SEO to make sure that those pages are ranking organically. And then we can do those pages for our client from a paid ad standpoint. Then from there, you need content, you need articles. So we have to write articles. You also need videos. So we have videos. So everything, every service that we offer, every department that we have internally is all about the full circle marketing for industrial. Everything plays a part in it. So in general, I would say 90 days, you should see some movement. It could take 6 to 9 months, depends on how fast and how much content you're creating. But as long as you're seeing some sort of movement after 90 days, I'd say you're going in the right direction.
All right, Reading Dave.
Reading Dave is back.
He's back.
Reading Dave was on last week. What's up, Reading Dave?
And then Joseph. All good info. Thanks for putting this all together.
No problem, Joseph. I'm glad that you joined and got some value out of it. Please share it with someone you know and post it out there.
Jeff, good info. It says LinkedIn user, but I think it's Jeff.
All right, Jeff. I appreciate that.
And then Ryan, what is the best way to start a cold call for a CNC machine shop?
Oh, Ryan throwing it off topic. I throw CNC machine up there and Ryan's like, dude, what's the best way to do a cold call? So what is it? What's the best way to do a cold call?
What's the best way to start a cold call for a CNC machine shop?
So the best way to start is to just pick up the phone and dial. And I know that's not like the answer that you're looking for is like, well, no, what I mean is a script. What people don't do is pick up the phone and actually dial because they're too scared or because they're lazy or because they just think that it's boring, not a way, like it's not worth their time. The absolute best way, I'll do a little cold calling side study here because we've made thousands upon thousands of cold calls for us and for our clients. This thing is super dirty. So number one, ideally, you send something valuable, something of value to them. That's kind of step one. That looks like a U. So ideally, you've sent them something that's valuable first, okay? And so by sending somebody something valuable first, let's say, Ryan, I sent you a guide on how to help your company page rank faster for a CNC machine shop. I've sent you something of value. Maybe you opened it, maybe you didn't. Maybe you got, I'm assuming that you would get value out of it. So then the next step is the call. So you are following up on what you sent. Hey, Ryan, it's Kyle with Manufacturing Tribe. I just wanted to reach out to you real quick and see if you got the email I sent you last week about the tips on how to make your page rank faster for your CNC machine shop. Now, you want to try and keep that intro to maybe 10, 12 seconds, and you should rehearse it. And you're going to be like either one of two things. You're either going to say yes, or you're going to say no. Either you did get it or you didn't. Now, if you're a dick, you could say, I did get it, don't solicit to me, lose my number, stop calling me, I'm not interested. Yes, that happens all the time to us. But based on if they say yes, what is your next talk point? So you have to have something figured out based on what you sent them. They said, yes, I got it. You already have to figure out what you're going to say. But the key with a cold call, with any type of call, is what are you trying to get out of it? So the purpose, let's go back up here. The purpose of a cold call is to learn, right? You're trying to get information out of them. You're trying to learn something about their company that you can use to offer them up a solution. You're trying to figure out what's their spend, who's the decision maker, who are the influencers, what's your current supply chain looking like. You're trying to learn something from it. So go into it, ideally send them something of value. Do that through HubSpot, do it through a CRM system, that's ideal. Then you're calling to follow up on it. Now, if you're just saying, dude, I'm just calling cold, like I've got their number in it, then you have to be able to ask them a question that's relevant. Hey, Ryan, it's Kyle with Manufacturing Tribe. Quick question I know you're in marketing. Are you guys currently using a marketing agency on the outside? You're either going to say yes or no. No, Kyle, we're not. Why aren't you using one? Do you have an internal team? Yeah, dude, we got an internal team of 6 people. Okay, what is your 6 people doing on a monthly basis? What's their core focus? Well, one guy's doing social, one guy's doing web and SEO, et cetera, et cetera. I'm trying to learn about you and find gaps. You're trying to find the gap. I don't even know if you can see this. Find the gap. And what I mean by that gap is you're trying to find what is it that they are missing out on that you can provide a solution to. It's no longer, hey, we're CNC Machine Shop. We are the best in aerospace. We do this every single day. I want to see if you have any projects. You can do it. It's less effective. The key is that every call you make, 90% of the time, you're going to leave voicemail, 80 to 90% of the time. You have to leave that voicemail. It's easier to say, following up on the email that I sent you, want to see if you got a chance to take a look at it, give me a call back, here's my number, etc. When you don't get an answer, after the call, let's just say fail, right? Nobody answers. You immediately send an email. Now, if you have a system like HubSpot, it makes it easier. I used to do it before I had a HubSpot license, before I could afford it. I would make hundreds and hundreds of calls every single week to people, and I would copy and paste a one-off email that says, hey, Ryan, just left you a voicemail on your desk phone following up on an email I sent. Do you have 20 minutes available for a quick chat to talk about X, Y, and Z? I would copy and paste that over and over and over again, 100 times a month. Now, with HubSpot and systems like that, it's very easy. There's templates, there's triggers, there's automation, stuff that you can do. But the key is you're trying to find the gap. Don't come off too aggressive. Don't say, hey, I'm calling you. You have a need, like you do something. You can't make assumptions. You work at an aerospace company. I just want to know, do you guys currently buy CNC machine components? Yes, we do. No, we don't. If they say, yes, we do, are you open to adding a new supplier to your supply chain? No, we're not. That is great to hear that you guys aren't open to it. I wanted to see, are there any issues that you're having with your supply chain right now? What is the one thing that you wish that your premier suppliers would do better? Again, learn. You're trying to learn as much as you can because you can't possibly pitch somebody if you don't know about them. Just going into it being like, I have 14 machines. This is what they are. I've got Haas's and DMAGs and all this stuff. I got all these machines, all these 5-axis, 3-axis, turning, lathing, all of these anodizing, etc. I can do all of these things instead of throwing up. So I call it the show up and throw up. Instead of throwing up all that information, you want to do solution-based selling. You want to say, find a problem, find the gap, ask questions, offer up a solution. You're building trust. So that is the way to start. That was my shortest answer I could possibly give you.
All right. Laura, how important is redirecting on your website for SEO?
Yeah, so redirecting for SEO is important. You don't want 404 errors. You don't want any sort of errors. There are redirection tools out there, especially if your site's on WordPress or something like it, where you can say, don't redirect to 404. Just if there's ever a failed page, redirect to the home page. You want to put redirections in place, but really you need to fix the issue. So it could be something where you've got an internal link that's linking to one of your pages, your article or another internal page, and that link is broken because you guys did something on your website. Doing, again, SEMrush, doing a site audit, finding all those broken links and fixing them is better because it shows consistency of flow of information. So Google's like, hey, somebody went to your page, they clicked this link and it broke, and then they left your page and went back to search. That's not showing Google that your shit is together. It's showing that it's broken and it needs to be fixed. So you want to make sure that all of your links are working. Sometimes clients come in here and we've got like multiple thousands of links that are broken. Sometimes it's an easy fix, one fell swoop, we can do it all. But a lot of times it has to be done one by one and figure out what caused this thing to break and how do we do it from a bulk standpoint. So you can just redirect to your homepage from it, but the ideal goal would be to fix the broken link, internal or external links.
Greeting Dave, you have given me something to think about. I build websites for capabilities, but they are relatively not known. Instead, I'll try to use keywords from industries which you want to compete with.
Yeah, reading Dave, that just test it out, man. Just test it out. It works. So you build it based on capabilities, but make sure you're still focusing on capabilities, and the UI, UX, and the look and all that stuff. That's all relevant and important. But what Google cares more about then, they're not like looking at your site being like, this looks really good. They don't care. They strictly look at it from a back-end technical standpoint. words on the page, does everything work, what's the page load speed, all that stuff. They strictly care about is what you have on your page relevant information, valuable, and it teaches somebody something. That's all they care about. So the rest of the stuff is great, but focus on those keywords and build everything around that. That's really where it should start when you're talking about structure. Start with those keywords and then build out all of your URLs. Like I said here, see it /CNC machine shop. Maybe it's CNC machine shop, Austin, Texas. Have that as a contact us page. It doesn't matter what the page is. It just matters that the slug, the URL is relevant to that page and it matches with all the meta titles, descriptions, H tags, etc.
All right, Jeff, again, is email or LinkedIn direct message a more effective cold call reach out method? I find that I get very low percentage of return messages on LinkedIn. Perhaps my initial message is flawed.
Yeah, so Jeff, I would say most likely it's 50-50. Half of the accountability is your message is flawed. Depending on when did you send that message, what did you say? If you connect with somebody and say, hey, do you want to buy some shit? That's not going to work. Even if you're soft into it, that's not going to work. So half of it's on you, half of it's on the lowest form of contact to be able to get a hold of that person. So some people, you can get a hold of an email. Everybody's got email. Most people see your email. How are you delivering that email? Is it going, number one, is it going to spam or is it going direct? So you got to look at your method of delivery. Are you using a system to do it like MailChimp or Constant Contact, HubSpot? Or are you sending them off one at a time within HubSpot and all those things? Are you doing a marketing email or are you doing a sales sequence? Because that affects where the information goes to. So I would say it depends on the person. I would try both and see what works best for you. But the most underpriced attention is going to be on LinkedIn. Connect with relevant people, send them something that is valuable, sit and wait a little bit. You can't rush the process. You can't be like, I want it now. I want revenue now. I want action and activity now. You have to let the process play out. Send them a connection request. Thanks for accepting my connection request. A couple weeks later, here's something of value. They don't respond to it. A couple weeks later, hey, here's something else of value. They don't respond to it. Then you go in and say, hey, if you ever have a need for this, just let me know, man. I'm here for you. That's really the play that works the best on LinkedIn. But also you have to engage with them. You have to like their content, comment on it. Like it's a full thing. You can't just say, I'm going to connect with you, send you some stuff, you're going to buy from me. That's the wrong play. You got to go into it selflessly and say, I'm going to try and help you out if I can. If something good comes back to me for it, great. But use the tool accordingly. You have to be active and engage on their content as well. So they're like, who is this guy, Jeff? They're going to look at your profile and be like, I want to work with them. All right, Jordan's giving me the whoop-de-woo symbol. That means wrap it up. So guys, I appreciate you sticking along with me for the past 52 minutes on this live talking about some pretty difficult nerd talk with SEO. Head over to the YouTube channel, subscribe to it, turn on notifications. If you guys want to listen to this in podcast form, go to any podcast platform and type in industrial sales and marketing with me. We will see you on the next one.